Hello, I've never been to politicalcentury.com, but I'll have to check it out. It sounds like an interesting website. You made a video with some criticisms of libertarianism, and I'd like to rebut your arguments. So you make the claim that libertarian and communism are both founded on the assumption that people will behave well. I disagree. I think that libertarianism is founded upon the idea that all organizations and individuals must be judged based on the same moral code. That if something is immoral for me to do as an individual, it is immoral for the government to do as a collective. I don't think that anyone believes in a libertarian society everyone would behave well. Of course, there's always going to be those who use violence or coercion, people who are immoral, people who steal, people who lie. This has been the history of the earth. And I think your criticism is somewhat valid of communism, because you have the issue, the motivation problem. In communism, who's going to take out the garbage if we're all equal, right? So you have to assume that people will behave well, that you will have the new socialist man that, is brainwashed into loving the collective, that he will take out the garbage without any concern. In a libertarian society, if there's a crappy job, somebody gets paid to do it, right? I don't understand why you think that people have to behave well in a libertarian society. The whole point of libertarianism is it thrives on greed. The more greedy and selfish people are, the harder they work, the more wealth is created. It's based on, I don't see anything wrong with greed, but you might see that as bad behavior, but it's fine, right, in a libertarian society. So I don't think that point's valid. And then you say, without regulation in the 19th and 20th century, you had Standard Oil. Well, I think Standard Oil only came around in the 20th century, and the regulation on the market as well, mostly under Theodore Roosevelt, the Progressive era. So I think your history is a little confused. And yeah, Standard Oil did extremely well. What's the problem with that, right? They started providing this product that wasn't around. Oil was, before it was just muck in the farmer's field, and so yes, you had this company that brought oil to everyone and radically increased everyone's standard of living. If that's the problem with an unregulated free market, then sign me up. Well, I'm already signed up, but you get the point. There's no problem with a company that does really well and gets a large market share. But here's the kicker, okay? You say the unregulated market does away with competition. Well, no, the government does away with competition because the government monopolizes every service they provide, right? So when you have coercive taxation, you can't compete with that because I'm forced to buy the product. So the government's the biggest monopolist around, and you're pointing the finger at the market. Well, why don't you look at the government, right? You say that power corrupts absolutely. Well, the exact quote is, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Power corrupts, whatever. Who said that? Lord Acton, a classical liberal, a libertarian. So, I mean, you got to be looking at who you're quoting here, right? Because he's one of our guys. So if left to their own devices, people will behave in their own self-interest. So we have to design a social economic system that encompasses that, and that's what libertarianism is. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Pretty sure I destroyed your argument, and please feel free to rebut. When you get a job and don't live at your parents' house, you'll probably see things differently.